2 race teams just sued NASCAR, stating the France family and NASCAR are monopolistic bullies, and bullies will continue to impose their will to hurt others until their targets stand up and refuse to be victims. The moment has now arrived. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Well, we always knew the nuclear option was a possibility after months, actually a couple of years, of tenuous negotiations, or lack thereof. 2 NASCAR Cup Series teams just escalated things to previously unforeseen levels. This morning, 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports filed a joint antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR in federal court. 2311, of course, is owned by American sports legend Michael Jordan. He released his own statement today, quote, "Today's action shows I'm willing to fight for a competitive market where everyone wins. Everyone knows that I've always been a fierce competitor, and that will to win is what drives me and the entire 2311 team each and every week out on the track. I love the sport of racing and the passion of our fans, but the way NASCAR is run today is unfair to teams, drivers, sponsors, and fans." In this lawsuit, the 2 teams allege that NASCAR operates without any transparency. The suit also points out that NASCAR owns everything. They own many of the racetracks through ISC. A few years ago, they bought ARCA, perhaps their chief stock car racing competitor. The lawsuit also points out that the teams are forced to order parts from single-source suppliers chosen by NASCAR. And finally, they complain that NASCAR does not allow them to compete in any other stock car events. 2311 and Front Row said this in a joint statement, quote, "No other major professional sport in North America is run by a single family that enriches themselves through these kinds of unchecked monopolistic practices." All of these gripes, in my unprofessional opinion, are accurate. But do they rise to the degree of an antitrust violation? That, I'm no legal expert, I don't know. Though, as reporter Bob Pockrass points out on X, one of the provisions of the new charter agreement would prevent teams from making antitrust claims against NASCAR. So clearly this is something that's been on the France family's radar. Clearly this is something they are afraid of. A quick reminder of how we got here. A few weeks ago, NASCAR allegedly handed the race teams a 100-plus page document at 5 p.m. on a Friday and told them, "You need to sign this by midnight or we'll revoke your charters." Charters in NASCAR equal a guaranteed spot in every single race, guaranteed purse money. They're a big deal. That was a serious threat. As a result, 13 of the 15 chartered Cup Series organizations begrudgingly signed the deal. Rick Hendrick of Hendrick Motorsports said that he was tired of the ongoing debate. Trackhouse owner Justin Marks said it's time to move on. But 2311 and Front Row Motorsports, 2 teams on the rise looking to expand, did not sign the agreement. Bob Jenkins, owner of Front Row Motorsports, argued to Racer.com that NASCAR intimidated the teams into signing that deal. Jenkins said, quote, "NASCAR set out on this journey to basically divide and conquer, and they were largely successful. Dusted off the 50-year-old playbook and said, I'll be dang, this thing still works. We can still intimidate the teams into signing a deal. September 6th, that's exactly what happened." That's how we got to this point. 2 teams dared to stray from the pack, 2-car tandem style. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And are now looking to revolutionize the way stock car racing does business. Now that sounds kind of vague, I'll admit. So what is the specific goal of this lawsuit? What do 2311 and Front Row hope to accomplish by taking NASCAR to court? Do they even care about winning a lawsuit or dragging this thing out for months? Or are they just hoping to scare NASCAR back to the drawing board, back to the negotiating table? Well, Remember months ago, the teams hired Jeffrey Kessler, one of the nation's leading sports antitrust lawyers. He was consulting with the teams for months. This same man was involved in the creation of name, image, and likeness, NIL deals we now see rampant across college football, all of college athletics for that matter. He is now involved in this lawsuit, and he gave some very interesting quotes to Racer.com. I'll link the full article down below. One thing he said, quote, "This is reminiscent for me of many sports that have gone through a transformative model, sort of a moment when the legal style basically confronts them and says, either you're going to voluntarily change or you're going to be changed, and you can either get on the bus or get run over by the bus. No one wanted this litigation, but NASCAR didn't really give these teams any choice. You either submit to the bully or you fight. They're going to fight. We think at the end of the day, NASCAR is going to have to change because that's what the legal system is going to require." In the lawsuit, Front Row and 2311 say they are seeking discovery from NASCAR and the France family. Basically, show us how much money you got and where that money is going. And the suit says the teams are seeking damages for what they feel has been an unfair charter agreement for the past 8 years. Again, that last part is kind of vague, but I think that first part is key. NASCAR is a private, family-owned company. Every chance they get, they close their books. When they had the opportunity to take ISC, company that owns many of the tracks on the schedule, such as Daytona, Talladega, Martinsville, etc., when they had the chance to take them private, they took it. NASCAR does not want all of their financial records to be made public for journalists and businesses to pore over, to scrutinize every detail. They do not want those potential headlines. I think that's what 2311 and Front Row are banking on. They don't want a months-long, dragged-out, expensive court case. They're hoping to scare NASCAR back into the negotiating room, where they can hopefully get at least a few more concessions. Although Jeffrey Kessler makes it sound like they're going big, all or nothing. They want a complete transformation of the sports business. Maybe that's overly ambitious, maybe that's not. Look, all along, the teams have had very little leverage. Something that I saw 2311's Curtis Polk actually admitted earlier today. But this is by far their biggest and final attempt to get some leverage. Will it be successful? Time will tell. Remember, the teams are seeking 4 main concessions from NASCAR. Denny Hamlin has called them the 4 pillars. 1, the teams want to make the charters permanent. 2, the teams want a larger cut of the media revenue. 3, teams want more control over their intellectual property, their likenesses. They may want a cut of any business deals that include their likenesses. Likeness? I think it's just likeness. And 4, the teams want to be more involved in rule changes and big governing decisions. They want a larger seat at the table. Will this lawsuit allow them to get all 4 of those concessions? Will all 4 pillars be built? Does it help or hurt their case that 13 of the 15 teams already signed the new deal? All of that remains to be seen. What's clear today, Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, is that 2311 and Front Row are coming out swinging. They are seeking big industry-wide changes. They are looking to revolutionize the way stock car racing operates in the United States. As of this morning, NASCAR has not released a statement. They have not responded to this lawsuit. I'll be curious to see how they respond. I'm sure publicly it'll be very professional, cordial even. This whole process, the teams have been the ones quick to negotiate through the media, lean on the media, spicy quotes to gain leverage. NASCAR has tried taking the high road, at least publicly so far. Will that change, I wonder? You know, they say Jim France, he seems cool, calm, and quiet from the outside, but folks say on the inside, he's stubborn. Much like his family before him, he can rule with an iron fist. I'm reminded, in the wake of all of this, of the infamous, Curtis Turner saga back in it was in the 1960s, right? When Big Bill France banned one of his star drivers for attempting to start a drivers union. So, historically speaking, when NASCAR's authority has been questioned, the France family pushes back in a big way. That's what's happening here. That's why Michael Jordan. Gosh, that's what this is. It's taking Michael Jordan, one of the great sports icons the world has ever seen. It's finally taking someone like Michael Jordan to put the pressure on NASCAR to say, hey, those practices from the 1960s you're still trying to get away with, that Bob Jenkins referenced in his quote, those aren't cool anymore. That's not going to fly. We'll see if the legal system, the courts, whoever agrees with the teams. Will they side with the teams, or does NASCAR have enough framework in place to protect themselves against this kind of suit? We'll have to wait and see. Again, I want to be 100% clear. I read a lot. I listen to a lot. I am no legal expert by any means. If this lawsuit is successful, NASCAR racing will never look the same. If it's unsuccessful, Denny Hamlin's 5-year plan for 2311 may get cut short. I'm not sure. Nobody's really sure what happens next, but this will be a fascinating story to follow over the coming weeks, months, hopefully not years. Leave your initial reactions down in the comment section below. There is a whole lot here, but I want to know what you're thinking. I also put some links in the description to some other articles from Racer.com, The Athletic, who I think did a very good job outlining the team's argument, everything we know about this lawsuit, at least so far. Be sure to check those out if you want even more additional context. But that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR content. We talk racing every single day here on Out of the Groove. You won't want to miss any episodes here as the playoffs continue to roll on. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I had another video planned for today. You may still see that later this afternoon, so keep an eye on your subscription feeds. Thanks for tuning into this one, folks. I'll talk to you again soon.